I used garlic and onions in a meal when I was strictly asked not to. My stepmother-in-law has always enforced a strict rule in our household. My father-in-law must avoid anything with garlic or onions, including even garlic powder or onion powder. She's adamant that these ingredients cause him stomach issues, so every time they come over for dinner, I'm forced to exclude these staples from my cooking. This restriction is incredibly frustrating because garlic and onions are essential ingredients in almost everything I cook. Let me give you some background on my stepmother-in-law's cooking. Her dishes are notoriously bland. Once, during Thanksgiving, we went to her place for dinner. She prepared the turkey around noon, sliced it up, and left it out until 5 p.m. when we were allowed to arrive. By then, the turkey was as cold and dry as the Sahara Desert. It was a culinary disaster. Her lack of understanding of flavors and textures is astounding, making her dietary restrictions even more exasperating. One time, my father-in-law visited us without his wife. For that meal, I decided to make chicken breast seasoned with garlic and onion. He absolutely loved it. He praised the flavors, and most importantly, he didn't have any adverse reactions. He even mentioned that he can eat garlic and onions if they're cooked. This revelation was puzzling and contradictory to his wife's strict rules. It seemed that when he was alone, he could enjoy these flavors without any issue, but around his wife, he adhered to the no garlic or onions mandate. Just before Christmas, they planned another visit to our house. My stepmother-in-law called me specifically to remind me not to use garlic or onions. She also called my wife to reinforce this restriction. Her incessant reminders, after years of the same directive, were infuriating. It felt like an intrusion into my culinary creativity and a lack of trust in my ability to follow simple instructions. Her micromanagement was suffocating. On the day of their visit, I decided to take a risk. I prepared chicken breasts with sage, rosemary, thyme, garlic, and onion powder. I wanted to make a meal that was flavorful and satisfying, something that would stand out in stark contrast to her usual bland fare. When they sat down to eat, both my stepmother-in-law and father-in-law raved about how juicy and delicious the chicken was. They were effusive in their praise, completely unaware of the forbidden ingredients that had made the meal so tasty. Despite my initial worry, neither of them got sick. They enjoyed the meal thoroughly, and the evening went off without a hitch. This incident reinforced my suspicion that the no garlic or onion rule was more about my stepmother-in-law's preferences or misconceptions than any real dietary need on my father-in-law's part. The experience left me feeling vindicated yet conflicted. On one hand, I had defied her explicit instructions, but on the other hand, the outcome demonstrated that my father-in-law could enjoy these ingredients without any problems. To my stepmother-in-law, if she ever finds out, I hope she understands my frustration and the reasons behind my actions. I love cooking, and being forced to omit key ingredients that enhance the flavor of my dishes feels like an unfair constraint. I want to provide meals that are not only nutritious, but also flavorful and enjoyable. It's disheartening to see my culinary skills restricted by what I believe to be unfounded fears. To my father-in-law, I hope he continues to enjoy flavorful meals, whether or not they include garlic and onions. I want him to experience the full range of tastes that food can offer, without unnecessary limitations. He deserves to enjoy good food, and I am glad I could provide him with that experience, even if it was done in secret. This experience has taught me a lot about family dynamics, culinary creativity, and the delicate balance of respecting others' wishes while also standing up for what I believe in. Cooking is my passion, and I want to share the best of it with everyone, even if it means bending the rules sometimes to do so. It's about finding a balance between being respectful and maintaining one's own values and passions. Through this confession, I hope to highlight the importance of open communication and understanding within families. Sometimes, rules are put in place with good intentions, but they may not always be based on facts or the actual needs of individuals. It's crucial to question and understand the reasoning behind certain restrictions, especially when they significantly impact our lives and passions. I also hope to shed light on the joy that cooking brings to me, and how it can be a form of love and care. Food is not just sustenance. It's a way to bring people together, to create memories, and to express oneself. Being able to cook freely and share that with my loved ones is something I cherish deeply. So, to anyone out there who might be dealing with similar situations, I encourage you to find a balance. Respect the wishes of others, but also advocate for what you believe in. It's a delicate dance, but one that is necessary for maintaining both harmony and authenticity. Thank you all for listening to my confession. Sharing this story is a step towards healing for me, and I hope it resonates with some of you. Let's all strive to be more understanding and respectful in our interactions with others, and remember that everyone's choices and voices matter. In a world where we often think we know what's best for others, it's vital to pause, listen, and respect their choices. Cooking is my passion, and I want to share the best of it with everyone, even if it means bending the rules sometimes to do so. Thank you again for listening. If this story has touched you in any way, please share it with others. Let's spread the message of respect and empathy, and hopefully, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and heard. Thank you. Now on to the next story. Story 2. I changed a baby's name of a mentally disabled woman. This is something that has weighed heavily on my conscience for a long time, and I feel it's finally time to share it with you all. It's a story about a mistake I made that I deeply regret, and I hope by sharing it, I can find some peace and maybe help others avoid making a similar mistake. Years ago, I was in a situation that involved a woman with mental disabilities who had just had a baby. Let's call her Lisa to protect her identity. Lisa was a sweet, gentle soul who had the mental capacity of a child. Despite her challenges, she was incredibly excited to become a mother. She had a pure, unfiltered love for her baby that was heartwarming to see. Lisa's excitement was infectious. She would talk endlessly about her baby and the future she envisioned for them. Her innocence and love were both touching and inspiring. Lisa had chosen a name for her baby. It was a unique name, one that she had picked out with great care and love. However, some people around her, including myself, thought the name was unusual and perhaps even impractical. We convinced ourselves that Lisa, due to her mental state, might not fully understand the implications of the name she had chosen. We believed we were doing what was best for the child by changing it to something more conventional. At the time, we thought we were acting out of a sense of responsibility, but looking back, I realized it was a profound lack of respect for Lisa's autonomy. One day, while visiting Lisa, I suggested a different name for the baby. I presented it as a more suitable option, a name that would be easier for the child as they grew up. I remember the look on Lisa's face. She seemed confused, but also trusting. She trusted me, trusted that I had her and her baby's best interests at heart. And that's what makes this so painful to admit. Without fully consulting Lisa or respecting her wishes, I went ahead and started calling the baby by the new name. Over time, everyone around Lisa began to use the new name, and eventually, it became the baby's official name. Lisa, in her trusting and kind nature, went along with it. But every time she said the new name, I could see a flicker of confusion and sadness in her eyes. It was as if a small part of her joy had been taken away, and it pained me to see that. It wasn't until much later that I truly understood the gravity of what I had done. I had taken away Lisa's right to name her own child, a right that every parent holds dear. Naming a child is a deeply personal and significant act, and I had undermined that for Lisa because I thought I knew better. In reality, I had let my own biases and misconceptions cloud my judgment. As the years went by, I watched Lisa and her child. Lisa continued to be a loving and devoted mother, but the name change always lingered in my mind. I began to feel a deep sense of guilt. Who was I to decide what name was right for her baby? I realized that my actions were not just about the name, they were about respect, autonomy, and the right to make personal decisions. The name Lisa chose had a story, a significance that only she knew. By changing it, I had erased a part of that story, a part of Lisa's connection with her child. I want to sincerely apologize to Lisa. I want her to know that I am deeply sorry for what I did. I regret not standing by her choice and for not recognizing the importance of her decision. I am sorry for not valuing her input and for making her feel like her choice was not good enough. Every parent deserves to have their choices respected, and I failed in that respect. Lisa's choice of name was an expression of her love and her hopes for her child, and I should have honored that. To everyone listening to this, I hope you can take away a valuable lesson from my mistake. It's crucial to respect the choices and autonomy of others, regardless of their mental or physical capabilities. We might think we know what's best, but it's important to step back and consider the feelings and rights of those directly involved. Our well-meaning intentions can sometimes cause harm when we fail to respect the autonomy and choices of others. This experience has taught me a lot about humility and respect. I've learned that our well-meaning actions can sometimes cause unintended harm, and it's essential to be mindful of that. It's a reminder that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, deserves to have their voice heard and respected. We need to recognize the value in each person's perspective and honor their choices, especially in deeply personal matters like naming a child. I've thought a lot about how I could make amends, and while I can't change the past, I can change how I approach similar situations in the future. I've made a commitment to listen more, to respect others' choices, and to support them in their decisions, rather than imposing my own. I want to be someone who empowers others, rather than undermining their confidence and autonomy. Lisa, if you ever hear this, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I hope you know that I acted out of a misplaced sense of concern, and I am deeply sorry for the pain my actions may have caused you. Your original choice for your baby's name was beautiful, just like the love you have for your child. I regret that I took that away from you, and I hope that you can see how deeply I regret my actions. Thank you all for listening to my confession. Sharing this story is a step towards healing for me, and I hope it resonates with some of you. Let's all strive to be more understanding and respectful in our interactions with others. And remember that everyone's choices and voices matter. In a world where we often think we know what's best for others, it's vital to pause, listen, and respect their choices. This experience has been a humbling lesson for me. It's taught me the importance of empathy and the need to respect the autonomy of others, no matter their circumstances. We must all remember that our actions, even those made with good intentions, can have lasting impacts on the lives of others. Let's all commit to being more thoughtful, respectful, and supportive in our interactions. Thank you again for listening. If this story has touched you in any way, please share it with others. Let's spread the message of respect and empathy, and hopefully, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and heard. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button and get ready for more wild tales like this one. Trust me, you don't want to miss out.